Hey, what's up, everybody? It's No Nonsense News. I'm Ted. It's Friday, November 6th, 2020. A lot of the talk the past couple days from me, as well as almost everybody out there, has been about the election, obviously. And a lot of it has been around the integrity of the election. And now we have more reasons coming out right here. And this is official. This is no conspiracy theory. I'm going to play the clip for you guys of this woman herself saying it. Software glitch in Michigan erroneously gave thousands of votes to Biden. Up to 47 counties compromised. That's a lot of counties. But like I said, I'm going to play this clip. Let me just be quiet for a second here.
If all this wasn't enough, in Antrim County, ballots were counted for Democrats that were meant for Republicans, causing a 6,000 vote swing against our candidates. The county clerk came forward and said tabulating software glitched and caused a miscalculation of the votes. Since then, we have now discovered that 47 counties use this same software in the same capacity. Antrim County had to hand count all of the ballots, and these counties that use this software need to closely examine their results for similar discrepancies.
So you get the point. Basically, they got a big problem in Michigan. They've already given it to Biden, and now they found a computer glitch where, whether on purpose or not, it looks like someone cheated for the Democrats in Michigan at least. How do we know? This is just coming out. We might find this software is used all over the country. Might be, but either way, I talk to you guys every night about more lockdowns and getting ready and preparing just in case. You got a bunch of stuff coming out today. The latest lockdowns ordered at Nevada prison after outbreak. This here from AP is basically a rundown of just outbreak after outbreak all over the country. You can come down the whole list, check it out for yourself, go there, check it out. It's easy to find, but it's on there, and it's basically saying all these places, Des Moines, Denver, Helena, Salem, Oregon, they're all coming back with restrictions, okay? Now, and following that, you got, once again, at the grocery stores, grocers are limiting. It's happening again. Some grocers are now limiting toilet paper and disinfectant wipe purchases. So here we go with this again, right?
If you're a small or medium-sized manufacturer,
anyway, I'm not gonna play that one. But here's one that's really all ties together for me with this. Because when I saw this, this really scared me, and I hope it scares you too. And I'm just gonna quickly tell you, it's about New York. Cuomo is putting National Guard at the airports to enforce untested travelers from entry. And I want to read you a little bit of this article because, well, first let me just give you the bullet points real quick. And says New Jersey hospitalizations have tripled, 7 weeks, and new restrictions are imminent. New restrictions are imminent. New York and Connecticut have seen their key indicators rise considerably. The latter, meaning New Jersey and Connecticut, reimposed some capacity caps as of Friday, and its governors said Thanksgiving celebrations should be no more than 10 people. And Governor Andrew Cuomo said Friday he would increase National Guard presence at New York airports ahead of holidays to enforce new entry test requirements as the U.S. cases continue to surge unabated. And I just want to give you a quote of what he said here. He acknowledges the aggressiveness of the measure, and this is the quote: "You should not land if you do not have proof of a negative test upon landing. I want people to know that we're serious," he said. And what I'm saying to you is the numbers of infected are going up. What about the deaths? That's what's really important. We went through this earlier on in this whole pandemic. We had them telling us how bad the numbers were, and now we come to find out that the numbers of deaths were minuscule. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a virologist, and this thing could mutate, and it could be very dangerous. But we have no evidence of that as of yet. So by him enforcing it this way and actually using the military, the National Guard, to enforce this testing and telling people not to land, this is like taking your freedom. This is like seriously Nazi, where's your papers? Literally, where are your papers? Your test papers. I need to see your papers. That's what this is. This is a police state. And this is how it starts. And you got people out there, they say, oh, I'll never take the test. I'll never get the vaccine. Here's the thing. They're going to force you to. And I've already gone over this with you guys. They're not going to come to your house with a gun and force you. They're going to slowly squeeze you into taking it. You're not going to have a choice. They'll start by something like maybe you can't shop here. Okay? You can't work here. Or maybe you own a company. They'll say, okay, you got to shut your company down unless you go test to all your employees. Right? They shut your company down. You try to get a job somewhere else, you got to take a test. And you know that company is not going to shut down. Let's be honest. There's every company out there, and just like in New York, they think this is a great thing. They really believe that Cuomo's looking out for them. You are giving away your freedoms to feel safe from a disease that has not killed many, according to the statistics that they're giving us. So you tell me, are they lying about the statistics, or are they lying for why they're locking us down? If they never even came out and told us that people should get tested, would we even know about COVID? Honestly, they're using this as a mechanism to take your freedoms. And like I said, they will squeeze you into taking it regardless of what you say. Okay? That's why, and the only way you wouldn't be able to be squeezed into it is by being self-sufficient. Like I preach to you guys. I'm always talking about getting canned food and emergency supplies, but that is exactly what it is. Canned food and those storable items and supplies, those are strictly for emergencies. And that doesn't make you self-sufficient, right? Because that stuff's going to run out. Self-sufficiency is growing your own gardens and livestock so that you have food to eat, not relying on going to Walmart. Self-sufficiency is being able to clean water for yourself when you can't get water from the faucet or buy water from Walmart because they're shutting you down because you didn't get the test. You're not allowed to have water because you didn't get the test. That's how they'll force you to do it. They won't come to your house with a gun and force you to do it. They'll do it just like that. And if you're not self-sufficient, you're going to bend. Because at some point you need to eat. And at some point you need water. So take my advice. Get as self-sufficient as you possibly can. Start growing gardens and start working with livestock. Even if you don't have, we might not have much time. Now that supposedly they're saying Biden won, we have that whole thing I spoke of earlier, but if he won, I'm showing you all these states I've showed you, guess what? They're Democratic. What happens when you put a Democratic leader now in charge of the whole country? Just saying. That's just logic thinking. I'm not saying that that's a guarantee. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just using my mind to think about these things, and I want you to do the same thing. What do you think happens? They're going to squeeze you into it. And even if you can't get these things done by the time they're squeezing people into it, go out now while we have the capability of Googling that. Because what if you didn't have that and you needed to get clean water? You couldn't just say, Google, how do I filter water? How do I clean water? Get that information now. Learn it. Practice it. Do the things that you need to do, that you might need to do. Anyway, that's why I tell you guys all the time, right? Don't be scared. Be prepared. And that's why, talking about that, I just want to quickly give you the definition of the police state and a couple things about it. Just because I feel like that's what this is going into, and slowly throughout all of the beginning of 2020, it's been a slow, gradual step into it, but now it seems like it's picking up steam. And with everything going on with the whole election thing, there's a good chance we might see some of this. So, a police state definition is a totalitarian state controlled by a political police force that secretly supervises the citizens' activities. And here's the thing, they're not even doing it in secret. They're telling you that they're putting these people out there and they're going to make you test in order to come to their place. And over here, I'm going to just read this. A police state is a government that exercises power through the power of police force. Exercises power through the power of police force. You mean like National Guard at the airports to make sure people get tested? Originally, a police state was a state regulated by a civil administration, but since the beginning of the 20th century, it has taken on an emotional, derogatory meaning by describing an undesirable state of living characterized by the overbearing presence of civil authorities. Overbearing presence of civil authorities. The inhabitants of a police state may experience restrictions on their mobility or on their freedom to express or communicate political or other views. Okay, I mean, there's more to that. I'm gonna stop. Just look up police state. You'll find it. But you get the point. I stress those words as I'm reading because that's what's going on in New York. If you look, it's a slow step into it. They're not just running into it. It's a slow progression into a police state, and it's happening. It's real, and it's happening. And I'm pointing it out for you ahead of time. I'm giving you a chance. If you're up there, if you haven't already gotten out, get out of there if you can. Anyway, I'll get off of that topic. Let's see, more. This is actually tying into more of what I just was talking about. Police are tapping into Ring cameras to expand surveillance network in Mississippi. Okay, it's in Mississippi. It's a 45-day pilot program, but when you give them your freedoms, they're not going to give them back. That's what I've told you guys. That's why New York, get ready to wear those masks and be ready for those National Guard to be probably in more locations, because when you give away those freedoms, the people who take them, they're not going to give them back. They're not just going to give them back as easily as you gave them to them. Stand up for your rights. This is a free country. I should be able to fly to New York. I have relatives and friends in New York. I should be able to fly there and go see them for Thanksgiving if I like, at a party of 30. How many people have died? Like I said, if they start to show empirical evidence that the numbers of deaths are rising, we might have to reassess the situation. But as of right now, they're just stealing your freedoms blatantly right in front of your face. And here they're tapping into Ring cameras, as I said, in Mississippi, but it'll go further. If this program works, in 45 days, if nobody tells them to shut this off, they'll just keep watching. And they'll watch you all the time. We're getting to that point where they're literally going to be like a dystopian movie, watching every step you make. Everywhere you go, they got you. You go out your house, a camera's got you. You go in the store, a camera's got you. Not to mention the camera you carry around in your pocket all the time. The GPS that they could track you with. Right? So, it's coming. And one last thing for you guys, just because I've warned about this in a couple videos, China is a big threat to us. And they got a bunch of, between India and China, they have thousands of troops on the border, just hundreds of meters away from each other. And it's been already a couple times where it's turned into hand-to-hand combat, actually, which is crazy. When I heard that, I was like, hand-to-hand combat in 2020? But apparently there was some kind of scuffle. A couple of people got hurt. But there's big numbers of troops amassing on this border, and India is saying they're not going to give in to China as far as moving that border. They're not giving up control of that border. There's going to be no moving of that border. And they're saying that this could spark a bigger conflict, and I agree, with Iran in the area. You got India. This could get really big because we got to watch this one, guys. Just pay attention. With everybody looking at what's going on with the election, pay attention to what they're doing with the lockdowns. If they give it to Biden, whether he cheated or not, whether you like it or not, if they say he's the winner, you are probably going to get more lockdowns. And just get ready for it. Get the stuff for the emergencies, like the canned goods and the supplies. At least look at information and gain knowledge on becoming self-sufficient at a minimum. And build that emergency stock as big as you can, as much as your finances will allow. Slowly. You don't got to go drop 100, 200, 500. Just go get a little $5 here, $10 there. It adds up. Next thing you know, your pantry will be stocked. Anyway, guys, I'm getting out of here. I told you guys last weekend I was probably going to drop the video about the stages of collapse. That's 100% coming out this weekend. Thank you guys for tuning in. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. Please, if you watched it this far, just hit the thumbs up. Please. And don't forget, don't be scared. Get prepared. I'll see you guys Monday.